Jennifer Vatsa of Belladonna's Botanicals. Welcome to my channel. I'm looking super cute tonight and my makeup is on point. My hair doesn't look horrible, so figured make some videos. Why the fuck not? Anyways, so tonight I wanted to talk a little bit about something that's come up in a lot of my personal gnosis and working with different entities, whether they be dark goddesses or demons, or any combination thereof, is I've gotten a clear message, and this has been for the past probably 2 years, and that is balancing the darkness and the light, especially if you're a practitioner of black magic and working with these very powerful entities. And the reason I've decided to talk about this, I've mentioned a little bit before in a previous video about black magic and mental health, and one of the things I think is that I've seen happening more and more, even to some like very solid practitioners, is that when there is that imbalance, you just see people like completely unraveling, their lives unraveling, everyone suddenly becomes an enemy, there's a lot of witch wars and things like that, and you just, if you're only kind of dealing in the darkness and putting that kind of energy out there, you really need to be doing something, even if it's just on a personal daily practice level, to balance that out, to ground yourself, because it's very easy to get lost and have that really profoundly affect who you are as a person, and that can impact your personal life, your relationships with your friends, your family, other colleagues, other members of the broad occult spectrum and whatnot. And it's sad when you see people that are struggling with this, or maybe there's some kind of internal rejection of, oh well, I practice black magic and I work with demons, so fuck all that love and light shit. I'm like, no. I'm like, there is a time and place for everything. Like, I have found the way that I stay stable in my practice is to balance the light and the darkness, to find some of that gray area in between, because otherwise it could easily destroy you. And I do that. I've spent the past year working through my Reiki mastery training, and the level 1 and 2 trainings, a crystal Reiki course, and also I'm working on a crystal healing course and things like that. But that's stuff that I do to balance out the other things I do that are of a little bit of a darker nature. And it's good to have that grounding, and you don't want to get lost in the ether of all darkness all the time, because eventually it's just going to pull you down. And finding that balance I've worked a lot of it into my daily practice, whether that is, meditation, whether it's, taking a salt bath, or, listening to music, I do a lot with like sound cleansing, stuff with either binaural beats or different types of ambient kind of meditation music, as you were, to kind of keep that energy level so it's not just pure darkness, that there's some balance to it, and yes, there's times it can tip a little bit in either direction, but staying balanced, especially in this practice. And I know many of us come from a place of trauma, abuse, addiction, and having various mental health issues, and that is critical to maintain that balance. And I can't stress that enough to anyone who's, especially if you're new to this path, don't get lost in, like, I practice black magic, I work with demons, everything I do is all dark and baneful and whatnot all the time. It can be, but you should balance it, And that's something that from every single entity I've worked with, in one way or another, has imparted that kind of knowledge upon me, is the balancing the light and the darkness. Because that's really nothing works when it's completely, all over the place, and that you really have to work at it. And sometimes that takes doing shadow work and a lot of self-work, doing mundane things like going to therapy, taking your medication, not trying to solve every fucking problem with a magical solution, because sometimes I can do all the magic I want in the world, I still need to take my ADHD meds, you know? That's not going to cure it. That's not going to help it. And fucking hell, if I'm not taking my ADHD meds, I'm probably not going to remember to do the ritual that I'm supposed to do every day to make it all better. So, you know, there sometimes seems to be a disconnect that I see, and it's not, you know, it's not everyone or across the board or anything, but it's sort of like, you know, have a gaping wound on your leg, maybe go to the ER first, then work on, you know, your healing ritual and your Reiki and, you know, all that stuff. And there is plenty of toxic positivity within the love and light community. That's the opposite extreme in how things are so unbalanced, in that they don't want to see deal with the darkness, deal with their shadow work, deal with any and all that stuff. And that's equally as toxic as just dealing with all darkness all the time. Balance. Pure and simple. How can you achieve balance in your life? You know, sometimes it's just your environmental. Like, I literally have crystals freaking everywhere. They're in the plants behind me. There's a tower of ones in storage. There's an altar over there. They're on my bedroom, on my desk, things like that. You know, that's something that for me helps. Taking daily salt baths or even a bubble bath, because sometimes that's awesome too. And, you know, just living with intention and doing things, and also realizing when you feel imbalances that maybe you need to course correct a little. Sometimes my body's like, nope, you need to sleep all day today. I listen to my body and I will go, okay, I'm taking this day off and sleeping, because that's what my body is telling me I need right now. Now, I could force myself through the day and do all the things I need to do. Am I doing them to the best of my ability? Probably not, but it's about achieving balance. And that's really important in working with magic, really almost working with magic of any kind, because, you know, I've seen how that toxicity plays out in so many different ways, and it doesn't have to be that way. And sometimes people poo-poo, you know, the lighter aspects of magic and stuff, but, you know, you can still do a healing spell. I do most of my healing work working with Lucifer. Occasionally I work with Archangel Raphael or Marbus, but, you know, or if I'm doing, depending on the nature of it, occasionally Astarte as well. But, you know, you can still do that, but it's just maintaining the balance in your life and knowing when things are out of balance that you really do need to do something about it, because it can destroy you and everything around you. I've seen it happen a lot, actually. So I'll get off my soapbox now, but I just want to make a quick video addressing that, just talking about it. And, you know, if you have any ideas for things, like I do regular energy work, so whether I'm doing self-Reiki or I have other practitioners who do Reiki for me and other types of energy work and healing, that's great. Learn those modalities and things like that, because that can be a real lifesaver. You know, it's something that does help keep you grounded and centered and balance things out energetically. Because, you know, when you put a lot of energy into your work, and especially if you're doing something baneful, sometimes it's a little much, and, you know, you need to kind of recalibrate things. Like, I know I get hit particularly hard during the lunar cycles. Like, full moons wipe me out. Like, I'm like, oh, I can tell full moon's coming because all I want to do is sleep, and I'm really kind of just low energy and low mood, whatever. Now, most people are highly energetic and, you know, do all their witchy stuff on full moons. Me, I'm like, I'm going to sleep now and watch TV all night. I find a little more energetic on the new moons, but usually the full moon for me wipes me out, and doubly so if it's a full moon with a lunar eclipse. The worst. Anyways, so I'm really not great at ending videos. I'm like, and in closing, and then 10 minutes later I end the video. But anyways, you watch my channel, you're well aware of what I'm like. So anyways, thanks for watching my channel. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later.